Hello students, in today's video lesson, we shall discuss the factors that led to massive changes in the way European society functioned. The French Revolution paved the way for the rest of the world to demand changes in their socio-economic and political rights. In today's chapter, we shall discuss the changes with particular focus on the continent of Europe. The whole of Europe did not demand changes in the ways their society and government functioned. Some agreed that since change was inevitable, it should definitely happen, but gradually. Others wanted to make change happen overnight and employ radical methods to bring in those changes. The liberals were one group of people that wanted to bring changes in the society. They wanted a nation that tolerated all religions. In the 19th and 20th century, Europe was divided into the Church of England, favoured by Britain and the Catholic Church, followed by Spain and Austria. The liberals also opposed the uncontrolled powers that the dynastic rulers held and wanted a democratic government. They also demanded an independent judiciary which was separated from the government or any officials. However, liberals cannot be termed as Democrats, as they did not believe in the universal adult franchise or the rights of adult individuals to vote. Moreover, they only supported men's voting rights and were not in favor of voting rights for women. The radicals, on the other hand, supported women's rights and organized various suffragette movements to encourage women voters. A suffragette movement fights to give women the right to cast their votes. It comes from the word suffrage, which means voting rights. Radicals wanted a government chosen by the majority of the population, inclusive of both men and women voters. The radicals were not against the existence of private property, but they did not want the concentration of property at the hands of a few powerful individuals. Then we have the last sect, the conservatives, who were opposed to changes in the 18th century. However, in the 19th century, they accepted that change was inevitable and had to be introduced gradually in a pre-existing system. This was a time of many social and economic changes as the Industrial Revolution took place. It is during this time that new cities and industrialized areas came up and the railways expanded. Many of these radicals and liberals had their own property through trade or industrial ventures. They believed in the value of individual efforts and labor as opposed to the privileges of old aristocratic inheritances. Industrialization had increased the demands of labor in the factories, as a result of which men, women, and children were all included in the work processes. However, unemployment, poor wages, housing problems, and bad working hours were a part of the common lifestyle. The liberals, radicals, and nationalists wanted to put an end to this kind of governance, which was established in Europe in 1815, where power existed at the hands of a few, while the majority suffered endlessly. Revolutionaries in Italy, France, Germany, and Russia worked to overthrow these kinds of governments. After 1815, Giuseppe Mazzini, the Italian nationalist, united with others to build a society where people had equal rights. Thus evolved the idea of a socialist state. Socialists were against the idea of a private property. They believed that private property was the root of all social evils. Individuals who owned private properties employed workers, but were only concerned with their personal gains. They paid no attention to the welfare of the people they employed. Robert Owen, a leading English manufacturer, wanted to build a cooperative community called New Harmony in Indiana. In France, Louis Blanc wanted the government to encourage cooperatives and abolish private industries. Karl Marx, a German economist and philosopher, opposed the idea of an industrial society as he argued that it was capitalist. Capitalist institutions were owned by private individuals that reaped the gains of the hard work done by workers. The workers worked under poor conditions with little wages. He introduced the idea of a communist society where the workers would unite to overthrow the capitalists and private property owners. He believed that in a communist society, property would be owned by the entire society of people and be socially controlled. This was thus a radically socialist society. By the 1870s, socialist ideas spread throughout Europe and an international body was formed. It was called the Second International. Workers in England and Germany formed associations which revolted and fought for better living and working conditions. In Germany, these associations worked closely with the Social Democratic Party and helped it win parliamentary seats. By 1905, a Labour Party was formed in Britain and a Socialist Party was formed in France. However, the Socialists remained unsuccessful in forming a government in Europe till 1914. Though they were represented in the parliament, government was still run by conservatives, liberals and radicals. It was in the year 1917 that the Russian monarchy fell from power and socialists took over the government through the October Revolution of 1917. So how exactly was this possible? What do you think happened in the newly formed government run by the socialists? We shall find out in our next video where we shall look at the Russian Revolution in details.